Hi, welcome back to Maths Masters. This session we're going to be looking at place value. Place value is an important part of addition. Normally in school we would teach place value interspersed within teaching addition and subtraction, not as separate lessons. Place value means the value of the number according to where it is placed in the number and in the number system. One aspect of place value that we're going to look at today is comparing numbers. So we're going to look at the value of numbers, comparing them to one another. It's a really important skill. Now in the early years foundation stage, you'll be expected to count up to 20, but it's great if you practice counting beyond 20, counting forwards and backwards in the number system. Children will also need to know the number names to 20, and they'll also have to know what the numbers represent. So that if they have 16 counters, they've got an image in their minds, they've got an idea of how many 16 actually is. There's some lovely programs. There's one called Number Blocks. It's really good at working on basic counting skills. There's a game that you can also play that's called, sometimes it's called Last One Standing, sometimes it's called 20s. So the idea is two or more of you each say a number, and you can add one more on. But if you end up on your turn saying the number 20, then that means you're out, you have to sit down. So they could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. They would have to sit down. Then it would be their turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And they'd have to sit down. That's just a great way of practicing finding one more. But there's another way of playing it where the people who are playing the game can choose to add on one more, or they can add on 2 more, or 3 more. So then the game gets a little bit more about problem solving. So the first person can either say 1, 2 or 3. So they can decide if they go 1, 2, 3. The next person might just choose to add 1 on. So they might say 4. They might decide to add on 3 more, 5, 6, 7. They might add on 3 more, 8, 9, 10. They might add on 2 more, 11, 12. They might add on 1 more, 13. They may add on 3 more, 14, 15, 16. So this person here can start thinking about what they're going to do. So 16, they decide to add on 3 more, 17, 18, 19, which means this person will be out because they would have to say 20. So it's a great way of practicing finding 1 more, 1, 2 and 3 more than a number, but also using those problem solving skills to work out what you add on, how you can make sure that somebody else lands on the number 20. So lots of practice when looking at numbers to 20, counting on, finding 1 more, finding 1 less, adding numbers, using a number line to add numbers as well. Also comparing numbers on a number line by looking at their value in relation to one another. So I've got a number line here, so I'm going to have 0 at the start of it. So we've got 0 and the number line goes to 20. So I've got some numbers I want to place on the number line. So you need to think carefully about where you're going to place your numbers. So they don't necessarily have to have equal gaps in between them. So I'm going to place 10 because I know that 10 is halfway between 0 and 20. So I'm going to place it in the correct position halfway on the number line. Then I'm going to have the number 3. Now I know the number 3 is closer to 0 than it is to 10, but it's not right next to 0 because that is where 1 would go. And then there would be 2 and then 3 would be placed. So I'm thinking about where I place the numbers in relation to the other numbers that are placed already. So it's comparing those numbers. The number 7, it's closer to 10 than it is to 0. It's more than 3. 5 would be about halfway between here. So 6, 7 would be about there. 18 is greater than 10. It's less than 20. It's nearer to 20 than it is to 10, so it's going to be over here. 15 would be in the middle here, so 16, 17, 18 would be about there. So it's thinking of how the numbers are related to one another. Also, to play around with numbers and place value is classification, is sorting objects. This relates to science classification. Sorting objects, comparing them according to certain properties about them, according to certain descriptions about them. So here I've compared and sorted socks. I've got spotty socks and stripy socks. So, and then I've put them together. How many have I got all together? But it's a way of sorting objects, and I can see how many I've got 6 all together. So sorting any types of objects together, classifying them by certain characteristics is really helpful. So from there we can then begin to compare sets and amounts. So thinking about who's got the most. So just talking about things generally, who's got the most, who's got the least, who's got an equal amount. Do we have too many? Is there not enough? So when you're doing things around the house, and this is something that parents can help with, is give the child knives and forks, give them the plates, but maybe not give them enough. So they have to realise there isn't enough. How many more do they need? Or if there's too many, I've got too many. So understanding those concepts. Or have I got just the right amount? How many do we need exactly? So the comparing objects in groups, some of the key language is that we need to understand is equal to. And we've already come across the equal to symbol in mathematics, which is that. More. We talked about this word to do with addition. Often children use it at a young age because they want to get more of something that they like. Less, greater than, fewer, and less than. So if you've got less, that means you've got a smaller amount in comparison to something else. It's greater than, it's bigger, it's greater than something else. It's fewer, less than something else, and less than something else. So it's these words are comparing sets of things together. So we can think about which has more and which has less. So looking at the apples, which has more? Okay, this one has more, it's got more apples. Which one has less? Yeah, so the second one has less apples. How can you tell which has the most? How can you tell that? What can you do? Well, you can count them. You can see, if you can subsidize, you can see that this has got 4, or you can count them and that's got more than that one. So we can say that that's more than or greater than this set, and we can say that this set is less than or fewer than this set. Okay, so let's have a go at some of these examples. So thinking about this language we could use, what could we write here? This set of counters is something than this set of counters. What could we have? So pause it and have a go. Okay, so what we have to do is count them. So here there are 7 counters, and here there are 4 counters. 7 counters is more than 4 counters, or we could say 7 counters is greater than 4 counters. Okay, this one. Have a look at this one that I'm creating now. What can we say, what sentence can we write about the Lego people? Okay, pause it and have a go at that one. Okay, so we've got 3 here, so we have to count them, and we've got 5 Lego people here. So 3 is smaller, is less than 5, so we can say 3 Lego people, or 3 is less than 5, or we can say 3 is fewer than 5. Okay, so this is a smaller group than that group. Look at the final one. What can we say about the final one? Pause it and have a think about that. Okay, so the final one, we've got 3 sheep here and 3 sheep here, and 3 is equal in amount, so we can say that 3 is equal to 3 as well. Now, in this next problem, we can think about the possibilities. So Manny has fewer counters than Ivan. How many counters could Manny have? Now Ivan, how many counters, or coins should I say, how many coins has Ivan got? Yep, so Ivan has got 7 coins. So how many coins could Manny have? Pause it and have a go at that one. Okay, so what could Manny have? Well, we know has fewer counters than Ivan. So this is the important part. It's got to be less than that. So Manny could have 6. He could have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or he may even have 0, which is less than 7 as well. Okay, so in year 2, you will learn inequality symbols. These symbols mean that the 2 groups are not equal. They're in inequality, they are not equal. But often it's good to put this into year 1. So a lot of times you'll see the inequality symbols being used in year 1. There's no reason they can't be used to compare small groups of objects. So there's a little way to remember them, is to draw in the shape 2 cubes and 3 cubes. This means you read these symbols as recognizing them as what they are. So this is smaller than this. So this means less than, and this one means that this is bigger than this. So it means that this is more than this. So this one means more than. So when you're reading it as a number sentence, you read it along, something is less than something. Something is more than something. Okay, so what could go here? Have a think about that. Well, say if we have 4 here, we could have anything greater than 4 here. 5, 6, 7, 8, because 4 is less than 8. Here, we could have the number 9. What could go here? 9 is more than what? So that could be 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, now the equal to symbol, we already have come across that in addition. That shows the 2 groups, they are equal to each other. They are both the same. So have a go now. Look at this question, number 2 and number 3, and place the correct symbol into the number sentences. So pause it and off you go. Okay, so number 1, we've got 3 counters here and 4 counters here. So we can say that 3 is less than, so draw those into reminders, 3 is less than 4. Here, number 2, we've got 5 cars and 2 cars. So we can say that 5 is greater than, is more than 2 cars. Okay, and the third one, 4, and we've got number 4 and 4 counters, and we can say that 4 is equal to 4. Okay. So the final ones, have a look at these ones. So pause the video in a second, look at 1, 2, 3 and 4 and put in the correct inequality symbol or equal to symbol, remembering what those mean. So pause it and off you go. Okay, so the first one we've got 4 and 4 at that side, so 4 is equal to 4. Here we've got 1 compared to 3. 1 is less than 3. Here we've got 5 and we've got 2. 5 is more than is greater than 2. And here we can place in the numbers 5 is greater, more than 4, 7 and 7 are equal. 3 is less than 6, and 6 and 5 and 1, well 5 and 1 is equal to 6, so they are equal to one another. Okay, so in the activity section you will find some activities you can do practicing using the inequality symbols and the equal to symbol. There are different ones, A, B and C. Use concrete materials, use pictures, use numbers, whichever you feel comfortable with, and share your work on hashtag Marvellous Maths Masters, hashtag Maths Masters, or send to me to have a look at. Okay, thank you. Bye.